Okay, look. Today we're going to go through a biggie here, the free will, the problems with free will. So let's get started. I'm probably going to go really fast through this thing because it's a long lecture. Um, First of all, with free will, instead of calling it a choice that somebody makes, a free will choice, call it an event. You know, and now read these two sentences. An event occurs because of events in the past prior to the event. A choice occurs because of the choices made in the past prior to the choice. Um, Notice that if we call it an event, it's easier to see that this makes more sense. This makes sense, and this makes sense. That choices are made by the past, not by some sort of magical or spiritual thing. Um, Free will denotes the predictability. If something is predictable, then it doesn't have a soul. If something is unpredictable, then it has a soul. That doesn't even make sense. Why would predictability imply, if it's predictable, then there's no free will? Anyways, let's keep on going. Which is it? If you are predictable, then you have a soul, or if you are unpredictable, then you have a soul or no soul. Predictability doesn't imply a soul or whatever. Let's talk about reversible processes and irreversible processes. If something is reversible, it is not free will, or if something is irreversible, then it is free will. We have Maxwell's and Laplace's demons. Um, One tries to predict the future by calculating it, is one of the demons. The other demon tries to break the law of entropy. Um, we have to understand that not all three body problems can be solved perfectly, and the brain alone has more than three bodies moving. Though this is a three body problem, is just like three planets, or not even planets, three grains of sand out in space. You can't solve every single three body problem that can be conceived. And the brain alone has a lot more than three bodies. It's got the billions, hundreds of billions of neurons in it, moving and interacting with each other. So how could somebody calculate or predict what it does? Yeah, if we can't predict something, it has a soul. No. It just means we can't figure it out, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't obey. It doesn't obey the laws of physics, and is deterministic. The system is not deterministic. Quantum mechanics uncertainty does not imply free will. It implies ignorance, implicit in the dynamics of a system like the brain. It implies lack of attainable knowledge. Entropy always increases. Entropy sometimes is known as disorder. Disorder increases. In other words, cars get rusty. It was a nice painted car, and if you disorder it, it becomes rusty. And therefore, entropy increases as a car gets rustier. Also, another way of interpreting some thermodynamics, people do not like, physicists do not like that thermodynamic definition of disorder. Some strict guys like lack of knowledge is better. Lack of knowledge always increases. So entropy is sometimes interpreted as disorder, or entropy is interpreted as lack of knowledge. Either way, thermodynamics, just like quantum mechanics, does not imply free will. Okay? Definition of free will: to make a choice not based on the past just before the choice is made. Obviously, silly definition, which unfortunately most people, usually religious people, believe, but even non-religious people believe this. Free will is the ability to make a choice which is in no way influenced by one's state before one makes the choice. Again, a silly definition which most people adhere to for one crazy reason or another. I must admit, it's a tough. If it's a tough uh, uh, subject. Complexity, the more complex a system behaves, the more free will it has. Just because something is complex, it means it has free will or a soul or something. A simple system has less free will. Um, well, this again silly because there are many simple systems that become complex, and there are many complex systems that become simple systems. So either way, whether it's complex system or a simple system, free will and souls and spirituality do not have command over those. A soul, a past, a person without a past has no soul. You know, um, uh, randomness implies free will. If something is random, then it's free will. If it's not random, again, this is kind of the predictability argument. Implies lack of free will. You know, a lot of people will throw around randomness and non-randomness as proofs for free will. Logic implies lack of free will. Just because something is logical, it implies that people will be like, oh, then that's not free will. Well, then illogic implies free will. You know, if logic does not imply or implies lack of free will, then I guess illogic implies free will. Well, I think I'd rather live in a logical world. Illogically logical. We see randomness because of hidden variables we are unenlightened enough to see. But those hidden variables operate quite logically, as they are under the guise of the laws of physics. Gödel's theorem states that no system can exist without undefinable entities, which must be accepted a priori. Implies free will. I know again this thing of people will be like, oh, Gödel's therefore free will. No, again it implies ignorance, much like quantum mechanics over there. Okay, so I'm sorry I had to go through that pretty fast, but I had to make this video as short as possible. I hope you enjoyed the video. Look forward to the comments at the bottom, and thank you for watching.